Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside Scotiabank Center, located in downtown Halifax, Nova Scotia, for Halifax Hurricanes basketball. The Canes welcome in for the first time this season the 4-2 Island Storm. Hi, fans. I'm Vince Williams, and thank you for joining me. My broadcast partner, Matt Elliott, will join me momentarily. The Hurricanes coming into this afternoon's game on a 2-game streak in the midst of a 7-game homestand with outstanding offensive numbers, hitting for at the 120 mark twice on this homestand. Things don't get any easier with the 4-2 Storm and missing two starters, Billy White and Tyrone Watson. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it is. I'm interested to see how Coach Leslie's going to make adjust his game to this. Those are two huge presences underneath, two big power forwards, guys that give you a lot of offensive and defensive minutes. And both team leaders, as we were talking about earlier today. So it's going to be interesting to see if Coach Leslie adapts the game maybe to play a bit more small ball, or if he just goes with the reserves for this one.
And let's take a quick look at both teams' starting lineups. For the visiting Island Storm, number 1, Chris Johnson from North Preston, Nova Scotia. Number 6, Franklin Session. Number 10, Andre Stringer. Number 13, Duvon Maxwell. And rounding out the lineup is the big man in the middle, number 50, Zach Bellielier. And the Hurricanes, number 2, Taquan Zimmerman. Number 9, Ramil Dixon. Number 12, the captain, Cliff Clinkscales. Number 14, Antoine Mason, and the tap's controlled by the Canes. And number 20, CJ Washington. And in the lineup, that is your starting lineup for the Hurricanes. Canes with a jump shot, no good. Second chance, third chance opportunity for CJ, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. So a wide open jumper from beyond the arc for Taquan Zimmerman. Zimmerman was very good in the victory Friday night versus the Highlanders, and 6 threes he knocked down. One very important one, just under a minute, sealed the deal.
Yeah, looking to get started early tonight, taking that shot quick. Once he gets hot, he's hard to stop, so hopefully he'll be able to get going in this game.
And CJ knocks down the first, so CJ had an outstanding game himself. He was the high man with 40 points, and he needed to step up in the absence of the big man in the middle, number 23, Billy White. Not available, and CJ knocks down both. So White, along with Watson, not available this afternoon with lower body injuries. Both of those injuries are day-to-day.
That's right, but Halifax has a deep bench, as always. CJ Washington is a good rebounder, so he can make up that grid underneath, as well as Ramel Brown, former 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the MAC. So it's not like they've got a bunch of backups out there. They're well taken care of underneath.
So second chance and third chance, and just as right on cue, the aforementioned Ramel Brown with the two-hand flush. So a third chance opportunity for the Hurricanes, and they make the Storm pay. Canes up 4-0. Island Storm looking to crack it into this 4-point lead. A Session with the quick move. And that foul's on the floor, and that's a blocking foul. That's on Taquan Zimmerman.
See the replay here. Some great, look at that.
Beautiful ball movement.
Flush. Excellent ball movement under the rim.
Johnson now, baseline, pull up, shot's no good. Good defense there, but an errant outlet pass. And the Canes turn it over.
Got to avoid those mental errors, especially early in the game.
Reset of the shot clock. Session, though, that rejected at the rim by Brown. Canes come back the other way. Absolutely.
Not going to get it.
Very animated is the first-year head coach, Tim Kendrick, of the Island Storm. Washington with the putback.
Like I was saying, yeah, you're missing Billy and you're missing Tyrone, but CJ Washington is more than capable of filling in those minutes and filling in those points and rebounds underneath.
6-0 run for the Hurricanes to start this one. Villar going to the basket. Bellier, excuse me. I'm probably going to struggle a little bit with the last name.
I think it might be Bellier.
Bellier.
Let's go with that.
Go with Bellier. You're playing better than I in the pronunciation of his last name. Nevertheless, Zach's at the line to shoot two. The big man, 6'10", from Pittsburgh State. Shooting 50% from the free throw line, averaging 4 points for the Storm in 6 games.
I believe this is his sophomore season in the NBL, played last year with Moncton.
And he goes 1 for 2. And that's last touch by the Storm, and it'll be Hurricane possession. So Canes with a 5-point lead. We are early here at the Scotiabank Center. Good crowd on hand this afternoon for this matinee, the only game in the National Basketball League of Canada. Mason slashing to the hoop. Now shots rejected, but Mason picks up the harm, and it looks like he was in the act of shooting, but the officials are counting it.
Oh, wow.
As the two officials come together, this afternoon's officials, Matt Boyle, Paul Hansen, and Brian States.
Jeez, I don't know if we'll see a replay of that, but I'm kind of surprised they gave him a 2 on that. Didn't look like it was going into me, but.
So goaltending call on the Storm. And Mason completes the 3-point play.
Kind of a non-standard and one, but we'll take it.
Probably going to be one of the easiest ones, as we didn't even get to see the bucket go down.
Yes, sir.
Stringer now. Stringer pulls up for 3. That's in and out. Rebound. Storm possession, second chance opportunity. No reset of the shot clock though, not sure why. Johnson slashes. Johnson finishes
Nice
at the
finish.
rim. Chris Johnson's been very good in his rookie season in the National Basketball League of Canada. 18 points he's averaging thus far.
Session doing a good job of guarding clink skills there coming up the court.
Zimmerman puts it up, shot's no good. Rebounds kicked around, kept alive by CJ momentarily, but Session comes up with it. And Session with a very crafty move, putting on the brakes there, and then Ramel Brown had no choice but to go through him. The big man just not agile enough there, Matt, to get around the quicker Session.
And that's kind of a freebie for the Island Storm there as far as fouls go for the big man.
Bang, and Stringer knocks it down from beyond the arc. Wide open jumper from distance. The Stringer makes them pay, and it's a 3-point lead now for the Hurricanes. Mason for 3. Shot's no good. That rebound is corralled by Bell, who's just checked into the game. Marcus Bell, 6'9" from Cal State. Stanislas.
Probably see a few more threes from Stringer in this one. He's averaging just short of 3 a game. Takes just over 7, so.
Spin move and finish for Bell on the other end. We have a 1-point lead for the Hurricanes. CJ can't get that one to go as he attacked the rim. He was met by Bell. Session now, spin move high off the glass.
Nice defense by Kings.
It looked like they either called a blocking foul or actually went out of bounds. It hit the shot clock, and that's a turnover for the Storm. Take a look in the replay there. Nice spin move and baby skyhook by Marcus Bell. 1-point lead, Hurricanes. Clink Scales. Washington backing down Maxwell. Spin move. Right at the rim by Bell. He was able to get it up and over Bell there, Matt.
Yeah, he was able to find the space, and you can see clearly here a lot of the offense going through Washington to start the game. So Coach Leslie, that's how he's going to run this one, at least while Washington's on the floor. Not a bad choice, I would say, given that he dropped 40 last night.
Exactly, and 40 points, big points, and he did it in a number of ways. Inside the game, he had a couple threes from downtown as well. Wide open threes may have you, but he can knock down the mid-range, and he just knocks down that one there.
Here's you talking.
Very polished offensive player is number 20, CJ Washington.
He certainly is. Halifax is happy to get him back this year. He was a big role player last year. I shouldn't even call him a role player. He was one of the stars last year, so a great guy to have on your team again.
And Washington has 6 now. Session thought about it. He puts it up for 3. Bang, and he connects.
Why not?
Session with a wide open jumper as Clinksdale's backed off him, and Sessions makes him pay.
Sure does.
2-point lead now, 1 possession game. Zimmerman draws the contact on Bell, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Checking into the game for the first time for the Storm is States and Dyke Jr.
Sessions hit that three. He's got kind of a non-standard shot there. He shoots a few of those a game. I think he's averaging just 6.5 a game. So far only hitting about 1.5, so not a great percentage. But just the same, playing professional basketball, someone's going to give you the space. You take that shot, and he did.
Absolutely. Zimmerman knocks down the first. He's an 86% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 16 points. And he rattles out the second, rebound by Bell. But I tell you what, Franklin Session is no stranger to the big shot. And the alley-oop over the trees between Stringer and Bell. That was outstanding as he beat both defenders in Washington and Brown. Beautiful heads-up alley-oop there by Stringer, making the connection to Bell. Brown now on the baseline, draws a double team. Tried to kick it out, but he's called for too many steps.
That was good defense.
Great awareness, high basketball IQ move there to double up Brown, as Brown thought he was going to go to work one-on-one against Bell on the baseline.
He had nowhere to go.
And the help came late. Stringer fires for three. Ooh. Bang! And he knocks down another one. Andre Stringer's 2 for 2 from downtown. He's got 6, and it's a 2-point lead for the Island Storm. Now, coming into this game, the Storm were known for a team that likes to get up and down the court in the transition, but they are getting it done in their half-court sets, man.
Yeah, they really are, and they're really getting it done defensively. Halifax isn't getting anything easy. You saw it back down there in Halifax's last possession when they closed down on Brown. And that's how they're keeping this one close, as well as that good shooting, as we just saw there by Stringer. Stringer.
So Stringer knocks down the three, forces a timeout on the floor, called by the Hurricanes. Head coach Mike Leslie and his staff talking things over, trying to make some adjustments here. But you mentioned it, the defense of the Island Storm causing some headaches for the Hurricanes in this one. So the Canes need to make some adjustments, but you got to be impressed by the first look by the Island Storm coming in with a new philosophy, a new head coach first year, Tim Kendrick, coming in from the college ranks from the University of UPEI, and now taking over at the professional level for the professional team over there in Charlottetown. You got to be impressed with that 4-2 record. They got off to a slow start. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now, but they got off to a slow start. It looked like things, had to come together. It took a little bit of time. You got a new philosophy, you got new players, you got a new guidance in that organization. And since that 3-game winning streak, this team's been one of the teams to watch in the National Basketball League of Canada.
That's right, and it's not uncommon for teams, especially the new coach, to drop their first few games. You got new players, new coach, but as they come together, things seem to get better, and that's what's happening here. They're looking really good, especially, like I said, on the defensive set. They're running and gunning. Sessions doing a great job so far in playing skills. Normally a very sure-handed dribbler. He was able to force him to knock that one out of bounds, and now it's the Storm possession.
And they are up by 2 with 5:43 to go in the first quarter. Stringer, dribble handoff to Dyke Jr. And Dyke Jr.'s pushed, and that's on Zimmerman. That's his second.
And those are the fouls you don't want to give up. Coach Kendrick, you mentioned, he had pretty big shoes to fill. Coach Salerno, very popular, very successful coach in PEI, former, I believe he was a co-coach of the year a few years back. So, like I said, big shoes to fill, but so far looking good.
Huge shoes. All-time leading winner and the coaching position in the National Basketball League of Canada is head coach Joe Salerno, now of the Moncton Magic. And you got to give it to head coach Tim Kendrick. He was able to knock down 2 wins against Salerno's team, the Moncton Magic.
Yeah, that must have felt pretty good.
Back-to-back W's, that is. CJ fires for 3, that shot's no good.
No one under the grab boards.
Coming back the other way is Dyke Jr., left hand's now good off the window. And no help in there, might have rushed that in transition, but that's the style of game that they like to play.
They're a transition team.
Brown draws the contact on States, and Brown will go to the line to shoot 2.
I believe that's what you and I think Coach Steve Brown, Halifax, mentioned that to you pre-game that this was a good transition team, so that's what they were expecting to see, and you saw it there. Wasn't able to make it drop. However, they can kill you with that.
Checking into the game for the first time for the Island Storm is number 2 from Halifax by way of the University of UPEI is Tyler Scott, making his pro debut here at Scotiabank Center. No stranger to this building.
That's right.
Playing collegiately in the U Sports.
Yep. And the Halifax represented well, but in the Island Storm, you've got Scott, as you just mentioned, as well as Chris Johnson, North Preston native. Now he played his college ball in St. Bonaventure. However, no stranger to the city, of course, growing up here and playing some high school ball here before going to prep. And that's what you like to see in a league like this. You know, you want fans to build those kind of.
Well, there's 5 opportunities, 5 spots that is, for a professional team. Bang! Good, knocking down the threes.
That one
Mason.
Brunswick Street.
Just to finish that thought, 5 spots for Canadians on 10 teams in the National Basketball League of Canada. Then that's 5 active roster spots to play professional ball. So great opportunity that this league gives if Bell finishes at the rim.
Definitely.
We're all knotted up at 18. Good game here, going back and forth. Storm, Hurricanes. Mason tied up by Scott. Scott playing him all the way out now. You got to play Mason way out because he can hit it from distance. Washington, spin moves, baby hook, and that's good over top of States.
Great footwork underneath.
2-point lead now for the Canes. Right back the other way is Dyke Jr. of the Storm, and he's fouled going to the rim, and that is going to be a reaching foul on Mike Poole. That's his first, team's 5th. Checking in is OC and Maxwell for the Storm. Stringer and Bell will get a quick blow. Dyke Jr.
Gets his first.
Gets it over the rim. He's averaging 33% from the charity stripe, but he knocks down both. With that type of percentage, you would think that he'd have some difficulties, but he made it look easy. We're knotted back up at 20 apiece. Mason now across the timeline. Mason going one-on-one and count it. Outstanding play off the dribble drive as he takes Tyler Scott one-on-one. Take a look at the replay here. They cleared the floor. Scott called for the reach-in call, and you really have to do a good job of not allowing Antoine Mason to finish a shot. A very strong player, and he could finish most times. And he finished a 3-point play as well. And,
you know, Antoine Mason, known for his shot and his ability to score. What people don't talk about a lot is, like you just mentioned, how strong he is. If you're going to foul Antoine Mason going, you better make sure it's a good one that he can't score up, which he just showed there, because he can finish, and he showed that a lot last year. Obviously, comes from good stock, good lineage.
You better believe it. His father, the former NBA superstar that is, Anthony Mason of the New York Knicks, well known of the New York Knicks.
Yes, sir. Physical player.
Absolutely. Charlotte Hornets as well, and a few other teams. But Mason definitely was a force back in 1994 when he was on that Eastern Conference end charge there. CJ stepping in just to finish, and he was on that 1994 New York Knicks team that made the finals.
That's right. That was a gritty team. Obviously with him, Ewing, Oakley.
CJ
John Stark was on that team as well, 94.
Oh yes, very scrappy team.
Yes, sir.
Mark Jackson in the backcourt. 3-point lead for the Hurricanes. As CJ, last time down on the defensive end, stepping in and sacrificing the body, taking the charge. Brad States is called for the reach. That's his second. Team number 7, Canes in the penalty. And Ronaldo will go to the line to shoot 2. 2:50 left in this first quarter. As Zach comes back for States.
States, sophomore year with the Storm, former UPEI star. Fan favorite at home, quite obviously.
He is definitely a high flyer.
He sure is, a lot of energy.
Ronaldo knocks down the first. Dixon is a 78% free throw shooter on the year, averaging 7 points off the bench, and he knocks down both.
Nice. See if we can. Oh!
Outstanding play in transition.
Had the right idea, just couldn't make it. Couldn't make the finish.
Just take a quick look. It was almost a Kodak moment for Maxwell as he got caught underneath the rim.
Got lucky, didn't end up in a poster.
Denny McDonald is also a high flyer, so the two number 7s on each team can get up. And McDonald rattles out the first.
Denny McDonald, this is his 3rd season in the NBLC, played with St. John and Windsor before this year.
And he rattles in the second. 6-point lead, 2:30 left in the first quarter. Hurricanes. Maxwell off the dribble and off the backboard, in and out. Unlucky possession there for the Storm as Maxwell did well to get to the rim.
Just couldn't squeeze it in.
Poole now inside to McDonald. In
Great
tight
work
to
by
Mason.
McDonald.
Mason moving without the basketball, and that's what the veteran team does. They know where each one is on the floor, and
That's right.
great move by Mason on the back door. They're not staying around and making himself available.
That's right. Caught his defender napping, was able to get himself open. Paid off.
Torrance jumper, good. Nice
Very
left
nice.
hand jumper pull up. He knocks it down. That's a 6-point lead now.
But they got Scott guarding Clinkscales. You can tell he's not giving hassle like Session was. Sure, Clinkscales happy with that. Quick release
Poole
by
shot,
Mike Poole.
no good. Too hard off the back iron. That's corralled by Maxwell. And OC crosses the timeline.
Another Canadian, OC from Montreal, Quebec.
Maxwell in tight. And that's last touch by Ronaldo, and it will remain Storm possession. And Session, Stringer, and Johnson check back for the Storm.
Interested to see if Sessions is going to continue to put the pressure on Clinkscales, bringing the ball up court. Valier to Stringer.
Stringer now. Stringer from
Way
way
out.
out. Oh, wow. He almost got that to go. As the shot clock was dwindling, and he tried his hand from almost by half court. Mason splitting the defense now. Swings it. Ronaldo puts it up for 3. That's too hard, and it's picked up by Stringer, and he comes back the other way.
You got to think, coach can't be happy with seeing. I mean, Stringer's a decent shooter, but to take a shot from that far out when you don't need to, unless your name is Steph Curry, I don't know if you got the green light on that every time.
That shot clock was dwindling, and I think he was more aware of where the shot clock was, and he almost got it off. As it hit the rim, there was,
Yeah.
1 second left.
Yeah.
And Maxwell will go to the bench. Torrance jumps back in. Valier at the line. Rattles that one. Zach, a 50% free throw shooter, and checking in for the first time this afternoon for the Hurricanes, Theon Reefer.
Only averages one free throw a game so far, does Valier, which is surprising for a guy with that much size.
You would think his game would be inside, 6'10". McDonald now, dribble handoff. Mason faces the basket, blow by
What
and
a
finish. Antoine Mason, very quick with the right hand, and he was able to blow by Torrance with ease and finish with the right hand. Mason has 11 in the quarter.
With a 7-point lead.
Session, quick move. Session, pull up, and rattles it home.
That'll be the end of it.
Very nice move at the buzzer by Franklin Session with the pull-up fadeaway. And that's a 5-point lead after 12 minutes. Hurricanes look good in spurts, but so did the Island Storm.
That's right, and what I'm looking at here, if you look at the points, Antoine Mason's got 13, CJ has got 10, so they've accounted for 23 to 30 points for Halifax, whereas you look at the Island Storm, they got 6, 6, 5, 4, 2. They are spreading it out among their guys.
Very balanced attack thus far for the Island Storm. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Matt, without the services the Hurricanes are, with the two big players, the two power forwards their starters, that is, Billy White averaging 19 points per game, along with Tyrone Watson, who averages 9, brings a lot of toughness inside that painted area, offensively and defensively. But right now, the Hurricanes doing an outstanding job of making those adjustments without those services by those two players.
They really are, and CJ Washington's picking up the slack. He's got 6 rebounds already, well on his way to another double-double. But you're right, with those two, with Billy White and with Tyrone Watson, when you're the player on the other team, you're thinking about them underneath when you go. But they really, I mean, they change the way you will approach the basket and stuff like that. So with them not there, it's obviously a loss, but Halifax doing well to counter that. CJ Washington playing a big role in that. Rommel Brown second with 3 rebounds and 3 points. However, he's only taken 1 shot.
So Kane shooting 47% from the field in that quarter. Storm 45%. Both teams, they're shooting well from the floor.
Yes, they are.
And those percentages. And the Canes in the midst of a 7-game home stretch. This is game number 3, able to get games 1 and 2. But it's a very pivotal part of the season for the Hurricanes as they limped into this homestand after coming off the road, going 1 and 3 in the Central Division. Very important time for head coach Mike Leslie and his veteran-laden team.
You're right, and the 7 games home swing couldn't have been better timed, as you mentioned, with them having a bit of a difficulty away. So now you got 7 games to kind of right the ship at home in a little more familiar territory. So Halifax so far so good with their home swing, and they're hoping to continue that success.
So we're just underway here in the second quarter. 5-point lead for the Hurricanes. It's Stringer, Johnson, Session, Bell, and Valier. For the Hurricanes is Rayford, McDonald, and Session fires a 3. That shot's well off the mark. Johnson, though, with the teardrop, he can't get that to go. Rebound by Ronaldo. So Ronaldo, Poole, and Mason rounding out the lineup for the Hurricanes. Mason now. Dribble handoff to Ronaldo, swings it, Rayford for 3. Rayford fires it, and bang! He knocks down the triple. Dion Rayford, a very good looking player, somewhat local product by way of Ontario, played his university ball at St. Mary's University, and he's been very good the last few ball games here at Scotiabank Bank.
Yeah, that's right, and as I mentioned, Halifax being well represented in this game. You got 2 guys, Dion Rayford being the one and Brian Rouse being the other, that played their ball here at St. Mary's University. So, stepped out there, yeah, I could see that from where I was. But to finish that thought, a couple guys that are more than familiar, obviously, with this court, having played in the playoffs and the Atlantic Finals and whatnot.
That's correct. Rouse from Mississauga and Rayford from Toronto. So a turnover for the Canes, a 7-point lead, though. They are trying to build on the defensive end here. Stringer thought about it from distance. Johnson will. Johnson, that's too hard. Knocked around and picked up by Session, though. Second chance opportunity. Stringer from way out. Shot is no good, and that rebound scooped up there by Rayford. Back the other way are the Hurricanes. Ooh, Mason's shot is rejected. Looked like he picked up the contact on Stringer.
Looked like it, didn't get called. It was good defense on Stringer for his part.
Beautiful rejection by Zach, though, on the help line, and he's been making his presence on that help line.
Yep, he's got those long arms, that long body. He will open your shot.
Puts it up, no good. Stringer with the rebound.
Poole, another guy that if he gets hot, look out. He's got a great looking shot, real quick release. Hasn't made a drop yet, but if he gets it going.
He's definitely silky smooth from the mid-range, and that's his game. But make no mistake, he can attack the rim as well if you do step out and try to close out when he gets hot.
And he's a great defender.
Clint Scales checks back as Mason goes to the bench for the Hurricanes.
Session will meet him at half court.
Clint Scales, McDonald thought about it, Rafer, better shot to
Great
Ronaldo. That is unselfish basketball at its finest.
Yes, sir, that's great.
2 good shots given up for a better shot. Ronaldo knocks down the jumper at the free throw line. 10-point lead, the biggest on the afternoon now for the Hurricanes. Johnson, dribble handoff to Stringer. Back to Johnson, he puts it up for 3. That's no good. It's rebound by McDonald, but knocked away by Bell. And it will remain Hurricanes possession. 9:39 left in the second quarter. Not the pace that we anticipated in this one, Matt. You got 2 teams that are very good in transition, but we're not seeing much transition. We're seeing a lot of half-court sets, and both of these teams are being, in spurts, are being very good in their half-court sets, that is, executed.
Yes, and I really expected to see more specifically from the Island Storm from their transition, and we've seen kind of spurts of it from Dick Jr. However, like you said, they're really paying more attention to their half-court sets, and obviously that's paying off to Halifax with a 10-point lead right now.
And a traveling call on Bell, and he's not happy as he has choice words to official Matt Boyle on the way up the court. So a turnover for the Storm, trailing by 10. 9 minutes left here in the second quarter. Clint Scales pull up, shot's too strong, and it's rebound by Maxwell.
It's one thing Clint Scales is good at doing. He's good at getting that top of the key shot, because most of the time you'll see him, he'll get to the top of the key and then he looks to dish, so guys will back off him usually, and that usually opens up that shot for him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it go that time, but that's one of the things he's particularly good at.
And Maxwell's attempt on the other end's no good, as Ronaldo will put it up for 3. That's too strong. Rebound though by Poole. Second chance opportunity.
And Ronaldo was a guy that surprised a lot of people with his 3-point shooting ability last year.
And he hits the jumper though, resets his feet, and was able to knock down an 18-footer. And Ronaldo Dixon starting to heat up. And he's got 4 now, 2 for 3 from the field. Session trying to back down Clint Scales. Back out to Stringer. Stringer looked like he was looking for Maxwell, but Johnson picks it up. Johnson from way out, and he misses everything.
Wow.
And the tough night shooting thus far for Chris Johnson continues.
It is, yeah. Looking to obviously do something a little bit for the hometown crowd. Probably has more than a few fans here to watch him. However, so far he's over 3 from beyond the arc. I don't imagine that'll last long. He's a good basketball player. Expecting to score a few points here.
Absolutely, averaging 19 points on the season. You better believe that Chris Johnson's going to continue to put that ball up.
Right.
He's going to find some success.
And that's what the best players do. The guys that score the most points don't let a bad start slow them down. Keep shooting. Eventually, they're going to drop.
So a timeout on the floor. A 12-point lead for the Hurricanes. And fans, just a friendly reminder to make sure you follow your Hurricanes and all their social media handles. Their website, halifaxhurricanes.ca. Their Twitter handle, HFX Hurricanes. And their Instagram at HFX Hurricanes. And for everything, National Basketball League of Canada highlights, stats, news, you name it, transactions, go to the league website at nblcanada.ca.
And also, it's a great place for those of you that aren't able to obviously be here. Great, or if you're not even able to watch the live feed, you can check in. They're doing a really good job this year. Vince, you and I discussed this earlier. You can watch the stats of the games kind of live right on the team's websites. The teams have really stepped up their games as far as the websites are going. Obviously, the NBL has as well. You can watch who's on the court, who's scoring, what the last play was. A much more user-friendly, fan-friendly.
And very interactive if
yes.
You can't make it to any one of the 10 buildings across the league. But we definitely encourage you to be here in person.
Always.
It's action that is absolutely fantastic. So back to the play here in the second quarter. 8 minutes to go. Canes lead by 12. Canes come back with Clint Scales, Rafer, and Rafer fires for 3. He's fouled by McCullough, who just checked in for the first time. for the Island Storm. Ronaldo, McDonald, and Poole round out the lineup for the Canes. And that's McCullough's first, team's first. Theon will go to the free throw line to shoot 3.
McCullough's second season with the Storm. Go to Colorado Christian. Played his basketball, grew up in Texas. He can shoot.
Reefer knocks down the first. A 67% free throw shooter on the season. Averaging 6 points per game.
2 for 2 so far.
And he makes no mistake and knocks down all 3. So the largest lead on the afternoon, 15 for the Hurricanes. Island Storm have some work to do. Sessions, though, with a very nice move and finger roll at the rim. He made it look easy.
He is quick, and he's taken advantage of that with Clinkscales. He's managed to use his footwork to get him to back off, use that speed and agility to create some space between him and Cliff Clinkscales, normally a very good defender, to get some good shots.
And McCullough rejects that attempt by Reefer at the rim.
Yeah, nice defense.
Franklin Sessions, 6'2", guard from Weber State by way of Los Angeles, California. A very nice player. Matt, he's done some outstanding things for the Island Storm early in the season.
Yes, he has. Former Big Sky Newcomer of the Year. Big Sky Conference All-Star.
Reefer tried to beat the shot clock, and good defense and stand there on that last trip down defensively for the Island Storm. Session going one-on-one with the big man, Ronaldo, and that's a tough assignment for Ronaldo in space.
Yes, it is. As long as he is and as good as he is, Session is a quick guy to guard. That's a difficult draw, as you were saying.
Absolute dynamite off the dribble. Stringer now splits the D, right hand, and he is challenged at the rim, and he draws the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That was a nice take by him. He did a good job of splitting the defense, and then he took it hard, knowing he was going to get fouled, held the ball a little bit longer than normal, and sure enough, he got fouled, and now he's got 2 easy ones.
And that's what it's all about, having that high basketball IQ, right. Knowing that when he does blow by his defender, he's got to know that he's going to go amongst the trees, and he's got to make sure that his body's in a good position to either complete the play at the rim or draw the contact.
That's right, and at 5'8", more often than not, you're going to get hands in your face, so he did a good job, as you said, drawing that contact.
And Stringer makes the first of 2. And he bangs the second one, great, unable to go perfect from the charity stripe. Reefer swings it, Clinkscales, he'll put it up for 3. That shot's no good. Rebound by McDonald, who's absolutely battling underneath the rim there with Maxwell.
Just discarded Maxwell. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that layup to drop.
McCullough for 3, no good.
Back down for the rebound for McDonald. He's all over the place right now.
Pace starting to quicken up here. Session might have taken a right hand to the chest area, but play continues.
See Clinkscales give the ref a bit of a look. He thinks he's getting hand, and sure enough, gets the call.
The captain and veteran of this team.
Clinkscales wanted that call a little bit earlier. Still not happy with it.
And that's Sessions' first. Team second. Ronaldo will go to the bench, and checking back is C.J. Washington for the Hurricanes.
10 points so far in this game, 6 rebounds. And he looks like he just got hit.
And it's been a battle underneath there with Maxwell, with whoever he's guarding. Poole, though, puts it up for 3. That shot's no good.
Still can't get it to fall. Man, they are banging underneath.
Bodies flying around and on the floor. Maxwell, and it looks like a jump ball. Possession arrow will favor the Hurricanes.
Washington holding his jaw. Likely took an elbow at some point.
Second chance opportunity coming up for the Hurricanes here. Second chance points. They've been very good this afternoon thus far. Washington, baseline spin move off the glass and almost in and out. Last touch by Washington. That would have been a very nice move on the baseline if he was he was able to get that one to go up and in.
Yeah, nice footwork. Couldn't make her drop.
So a 12-point game here. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Hurricanes continuing the lead. They have led throughout in this one.
Nice move.
Stringer
gets his own board.
and gets the rebound and puts it back. Stringer staying with it, but he is pretty quick too with that right hand.
Yeah. You got to be impressed with that kind of footwork under the basket for a guy that's 5'8".
Most of the guys that size can't get it done at the rim in this league.
You're right. Most of them try not to venture too close.
Stringer though.
Goes again.
Lob, Maxwell.
Jeez.
And they are on a 6-0 run, but Washington right back breaks that 6-0 run up. And it's back up to a double-digit lead. 42-32 now.
Couple of nice putbacks for the fans here in the stands. Stringer playing what a great few the series he had. I'm impressed with his basketball so far.
Good alley-oop on one end between him and Maxwell, but they fell asleep at the wheel defensively.
Yeah, they did.
As Washington was able to get behind the defense all alone and buried a two-handed flush. McCullough will go to the bench, and States checks back for the Storm, and Brown will check in for the Hurricanes along with Mason.
States, at least this game, seen a lot more minutes than he was used to last season. Didn't see him a whole lot of times, but he's got more than a few this game.
Well, I can definitely say, being a second-year pro and the help of having somebody that's familiar with them as his head coach at the University of Prince Edward Island,
right,
was none other than the head coach now of the Island Storm, Tim Kendrick.
That's right. They've obviously got that rapport. He's got that trust in him, feels comfortable putting him in the games when he needs him in there.
And Sessions will go to the line to shoot three. Misses the first, makes the second. Reefer was called for the reach there. That's his second, team's third.
Sessions, he's got that odd release shooting motion, but works for him, obviously.
And he makes 2 of 3. Session has 8 now. Rafer, left hand, in tight, and he's called for too many steps. So good defensive play there, stepping in the lane and cutting him off on the drive was Chris Johnson.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
So slowly but surely, the Island Storm starting to step up their defensive presence.
Yeah, and they can do it. You can't sleep on these guys. They obviously got guys that can score. With Stringer, they got guys playing great defense in Sessions who can also score. So, you know, as they're showing, no lead is a comfortable lead right now.
States now trying to back down Brown, back out to Session. Session puts it up for 3. Session, bang, and he connects from beyond the arc. And Session has 12 now.
You give him space, he's gonna hit it.
It's back to a single-digit lead.
42-37.
Reefer, he puts it up for 3. Shot's no good, rebound. Off the glass is Stringer, and he'll come back the other way. Johnson, blow by, left hand, right hand, teardrops. Good, and that forces a timeout called by head coach Mike Leslie and the Hurricanes. And the Island Storm leap off the bench, and they have all right to because they're right back in it, man.
They sure are. 42-39, they're back within 3, and that finish, that's what we're expecting to see from Johnson. I expect to see a lot more of it. Great take, great finish, and they are not letting up. Halifax has to right the ship right now, down 3 when they were up as much as 15 points.
Timeout on the floor, called by the Canes, trying to make that adjustment. They were up as big as 15, the largest lead on the afternoon. But the Island Storm have battled back in this one. They're able to get it done on the defensive end, and that's where it all starts.
They're on a 14-2 run right now. It was 40-25 at one point, now 42-39.
They are shooting lights out now in this second quarter. Struggled a little bit in that first quarter. Percentages are just relatively right around the same. Just shooting 38% are both teams, and the numbers are right on. 14 for 36 from the floor. Separation comes with points at the free throw line. Hurricanes 12 for 14. Island Storm 7 of 11. If you want to win basketball games on the road, you got to shoot well at the free throw line, and you have to defend.
That's right, and you got to get yourself to the free throw line. You see the Island Storm have now started to, where they were more balanced, those their star players starting to step up now with Session and Stringer. Obviously, two of the guys, when you had the conversation with Coach Kendrick before the game, he said the four guys he's going to lead on: Johnson, Session, Stringer, and Duvon Maxwell. And so far right now, Session and Stringer coming up very big. And I expect to see more of Johnson. 3-point
lead, make it almost a 6-point lead as Washington are able, but the left hand though, put back is there by Brown. So Washington had a nice look from beyond the arc, couldn't get that one to go, stayed with it. Brown kept it alive, break back to Washington, and Brown able to capitalize on the tip-in. Turnover though for the Storm. Canes back the other way. Mason lost the handle momentarily. Teardrop, it's no good. Kicked around and battled underneath his Session. He comes up with it. And back the other way are the Island Storm. Canes in good position though, defensively in transition, not allowing that easy run out. Stringer now, directing traffic, picks the screen, two-man game between him and Maxwell. And Stringer with the floater.
Great hesitation, got the defender up off his feet. Was able to step around and take an open two. Again, great footwork by Stringer.
And Stringer has 11. Zimmerman with a wide open jumper. Closeout though, late by Johnson. Session back the other way. Contact, Session attacking the rim. Can't get it to go, but a third chance opportunity kept alive by Johnson. Stringer off the glass and no good, and rebound by Brown, and Hurricanes dodge a bullet in that last defensive possession. Clint Scales.
Great step.
CJ, nice step through there with that Euro step. With control of his body there in between the contact of the defender. Was able to avoid the defender and finish at the rim.
Yeah,
it's a 5-point lead now. Good two-man game in Stringer. Maxwell, count it, and one. Maxwell hits the deck as Washington was late with the rotation. But Stringer, once again, the man in the middle of everything offensively for the Island Storm.
Great court vision. He's making the right decisions. He's playing great basketball. He is. He's keeping them in this one.
Beautiful.
46-43.
Beautiful lob to Maxwell off of that pick and roll. But Maxwell misses everything at the free throw line, and Bell checking into the game as States will go out for the Storm. Storm trailing by 3. Hurricanes now try to extend this lead. Mason.
Session now draws Mason with the defensive.
Mason between the legs, kicks it to Zimmerman. He gets it to Clink Scales, back to Mace. Mason, nice shot, no, too strong though. Rebound and second chance opportunity here.
That's what Halifax needs. You let them creep back within 3. You gotta take advantage of all those second chances you've got.
Shot clock under 10 though. Zimmerman might have got away with too many steps. Back door to Mason. Mason can't convert. Looked like he might have got hit in the gut. Nevertheless, the Storm come back the other way. Johnson, jumper, can't nail it, and he continuing the struggle with the mid-range. Mason, though, back the other way. Through the contact, no call, but he finishes at the rim. Regardless what happens from end to end, Antoine Mason is going to continue to finish, whether he gets the call or not, and a turnover on that run out by the Storm, and Bell thought that it didn't last touch him, that it might have touched a Hurricane, and a timeout on the floor called by the Island Storm as head coach Kendrick wants to talk things over here. Only trailing by 5, but the pace starting to quicken up a little bit here in the second quarter, Matt. And we're probably going to say this throughout the broadcast, that these two teams like to get up and down the floor, and we saw a little bit of that in the last few possessions.
Yeah, we did. Now, what I noticed, the possession where Mason got the layup, the one before that, the Storm was doing a great job. They just absolutely denied Halifax any opportunity for a good shot. Forced Clinks to throw up the alley-oop that obviously Mason was unable to finish. Thought he got the harm. Regardless, what you saw there was Halifax was just unable to get a good shot. They did a good job moving the ball around. Nothing came from it.
So a timeout on the floor called by the Island Storm. And don't forget that the Hurricanes are still on this 7-game homestand. It will continue throughout the month of December. Great opportunity to be here live at Scotiabank Center to watch your defending Atlantic Division champions.
Lots of great season tickets left.
Lots
of
them
great
available.
seats left. I can't think of a better Christmas gift.
Absolutely.
'Tis the season. Come out and watch some great basketball, folks.
Action continuing now in the second quarter. Under a minute here to go. Hurricanes trying to widen the gap. Clinkscales in pocket tight to Brown. Brown's shot is denied at the rim by Bell and Maxwell.
There's a lot of arms up there. It's a tough take.
Johnson now will control it for the Storm.
6-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
And he's looking for the clear out one-on-one against Zimmerman. Johnson puts it up for three. Rattles in and out. Had a good look, but couldn't convert. And a missed opportunity back the other way and dribbled off the foot of Antoine Mason. Poole check in for Zimmerman along with Ronaldo. Will check in for Washington. 6'7" seconds left and multiple substitutions. I'm not sure if it looks like pretty much everybody's gonna come off the floor for the Hurricanes for this defensive possession. So we're trying to go to the halftime break, and it does, and it looks like all five have come out of the game for head coach
right
Mike Leslie, as Denny McDonald is in, but Mason stays and Clinkscales come.
They're going to go for the last shot here. Wouldn't be surprised if Stringer's the man to take it.
And Stringer, he's fouled. And that's a good foul because they had a few fouls to give. 3 to be exact are the Hurricanes.
That's right. And let's face it, Stringer had Reefer beat.
Yeah. And Reefer's third personal. That's team's fifth, excuse me. Stringer fires and he misses everything. So good defense and closing of the quarter by the Hurricanes. After 24 minutes, Canes by 5. Pace starting to quicken here for both sides, but you have to be very impressed by the Island Storm coming in here at 4-2.
Yeah, very impressed, especially the adjustments they made after being down 15. Coach Kendrick changed up the way some of his defensive sets and who was guarding who, and they really attacked the rim, and it's paid off. They're now within 5.
So fans, we're going to step aside here for the halftime break, but stay with us. You are watching Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel.
These kids are locked up on sugar or something. That's a ton of energy.
Bank Center for Halifax Hurricanes basketball on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Thank you, fans. Welcome back inside. I'm Vince Williams, joined by courtside here my broadcast partner, Matt Elliott. Matt, these two teams coming into this game had a streaks on the line. The Island Storm trailing by 5 at halftime, 48-43, come into this game on a 3-game winning streak, and the Halifax Hurricanes winning back-to-back games on Thursday night and Friday night. Something has to give, but in the first 24 minutes, these two teams had their spurts. It didn't look like the game that we were anticipated, the up and down game, but they've been very good in their half-court sets.
Yeah, they have, and really the difference in this game has been the first quarter. Looking at the stats right now, in the second they both drew at 18, but Halifax at the 5-point advantage in the first quarter, which they're sitting at right now, scoring 30-25 for the Island Storm, 48-43 the score right now. So like I said, the first quarter was really the difference in this one. Now the Island Storm are going to want to see if they can continue to push the pace and maybe continue to either draw even or do better, and that's not off to a good start. This ball comes flying over towards us.
Yeah, not a good start at all, controlling the ball here at the start of this third quarter. The Storm will start with Stringer, Maxwell, Bell, Session, and Johnson. For the Hurricanes, Brown, Washington, that's knocked out of bounds by Maxwell, Clint Scales, Zimmerman, and Mason. So the original starting lineup for the Hurricanes, and a little bit of a mixture there for the Island Storm, minus Zach, as Marcus Bell takes his spot. Zimmerman puts it up for 3, bang, and he connects with the corner 3. So a good start for the Hurricanes on their first possession, Matt.
And you got to be happy to see that, considering in the first half they were 2 of 15 from three-point land, 4 of 17 for the Island Storm. Neither team shooting very well. Both teams, however, have guys that can shoot it. They're going to look for them to step up here, and Zimmerman off to a good start.
And he can get hot.
Sure
in
can.
Friday night's game, in the third quarter, he knocked down 3 big 3 balls, and it was pivotal in keeping that lead versus the Cape Breton Highlanders as a blocking call, a moving screen called on Brown. But Zimmerman was definitely one of the keys to the outcome of that ball game, finishing the game with 24 points. He had a deciding 3-point opportunity and knocked down that opportunity. Pretty much that shot late in the fourth quarter sealed the deal for the Canes on Friday night. Session, lots of move though.
He is quick.
Second, third chance opportunity, steps back for 3. Thought about it, didn't take it. Maxwell though, he'll drive with the right hand, and that's a nice move there by Maxwell.
Rose the defenders, was able to get up there, kept them on their feet.
Definitely kept Washington at bay with the dribble drive. Zimmerman now, Clint Scales in tight to Washington, back out to Clint Scales. He thought about it, back inside. Double team, triple team coming by Marcus Bell on the backside. Blocked that shot, knocked it away, and picked up by Session. So good defensive help on the help line by Marcus Bell. Session puts it up for 3. Bang! And he connects from beyond the arc. And Franklin Session is off to a good start in this third quarter.
Like I said, both teams have guys that can take those shots. You got to think that both coaches were probably harping on it, knowing what the numbers were. And sure enough, the guys you rely on, Session, Zimmerman, have come up big with threes.
Session has 15 now for the Storm. Zimmerman fires for 3, bang, and he connects from way out. Back-to-back threes in this quarter early for Taquan Zimmerman. Zimmerman averaging 16 points per game. He is shooting over 40% from downtown on the season. You can't allow this guy to catch and shoot from that distance. You got to run him off the line.
That's right. You got to play him tight. Otherwise, if you leave him out for that shot, he's going to take it every time. And as you said, 40%, hitting at a 40% clip is pretty darn good.
Mason loses the handle. Johnson off to the races, and Johnson with the easy layup in transition. So Mason losing the handle there. Johnson with the easy opportunity, and that's probably the easiest basket Johnson's going to get all game.
I'd say so. Zimmerman did a good job. Kind of let him take it without drawing a foul, and there's a foul right there. Looks like a moving screen.
Another moving screen called on Brown, and that'll draw into the game Ronaldo. Ronaldo Dixon had a very good 24 minutes as he had 6 points and 4 rebounds. He's 2 for 4 from the field.
And that's 3 on Ramel Brown. He's played good basketball today. He's been alive under the rim. Only got 5 points, got 6 rebounds, but he's the guy that they're relying on to kind of fill that void with Billy White and Tyrone Watson being injured for this game.
Yeah, fans, if you're just joining us, the 2 big power forwards not available for the Halifax Hurricanes this afternoon. Tyrone Watson and Billy White sustaining lower body injuries, and they are day-to-day. And they are not available this afternoon, so other guys need to step up and fill that void.
I was talking to the team doctor before the game, not overly concerned about the injuries. They're not serious, so which is good news. Just a result of being banged up, playing as many games as they have recently. Those things are going to happen, obviously. Better to happen at the beginning of the year than the end.
Absolutely. Billy went down in Thursday night's game against the Windsor Express, was unable to go on Friday night against the Cape Breton Highlanders, and then late in the Friday night game, Tyrone Watson went down, and he didn't finish. So an opportunity for other guys to step up and fill those roles for the Hurricanes. As a rare turnover there by Stringer off the dribble drive. He hasn't made many mistakes tonight.
No, he's been on
Storm
point all night, literally. Probably their best player today, I'd say, easily. Him and Sessions.
A nice move. Individual move on Washington. Great spacing there and patience by Washington on the baseline as he was able to take Bell down low. Johnson, wide open 3. Bang, and he finally knocks one down. Chris Johnson. You could see the jubilation on his face when he knocked that one go, and a sigh of relief. He's 1 for 5 now from downtown.
Well, like I said, the good scorers, the guys that score the points, they don't stop shooting. And especially when you get an open shot like that, you're crazy not to take it. He was smart too, and he hit it.
Washington finishes with the left hand on the other end, though.
This is what Washington brings. He's a great basketball player. He can step out and shoot it. He's got a nice jump shot, but he can also bring it underneath.
And that shot is missed there by Maxwell. Bell races and
Good
tracks
hustle.
it down, but picked off there by Washington. Stringer, miscalculation. Clinkscales, left hand and finish, and that's a patent move in transition for Clinkscales.
Yes,
but
it
back
is.
the other way are the Storm. Maxwell, though, the two-handed flush.
You can't fall asleep.
The
That's a
pace
transition team.
starting to quicken here, and we talked about it. We were looking for this pace, this up and down. Both of these teams are very good. They're amongst the best of getting up and down the floor in transition. Zimmerman fires for 3. That shot's no good. Rebound by Session. And here comes the Storm back the other way. Johnson with the move, can't make it. Second chance not there. Ronaldo scoops that up. Clinkscales crosses the timeline now.
I don't think Johnson expected to get by his defender because he picked up his dribble a little bit early.
Real
He had
early.
him.
Real early.
Was not able to make it fall.
And he tried to use every inch
Yeah, he sure
of
did.
his body to that frame to get to the rim, that 6'5" frame to get to the rim and finish, but unable to do so. As States checks back in for the Storm, and Bell will go to the bench. 3-point lead for the Hurricanes. 7 minutes to go. Clinkscales, left hand, high off the
Great
glass
pace.
and finish. Beautiful move and spacing off of that pick and roll is Clinkscales, using his body with the left hand.
Little offensive outburst from Clinkscales. which I'm sure Coach Leslie is more than happy to see. Normally the facilitator, great finish.
Washington in transition. Now they're starting to get it going now. Getting it up and down the floor are the Hurricanes.
That's 20 for Washington.
Washington
Next closest man is 15, Antoine Mason.
leading off where he left off, in Friday night's game. Stringer gets it to go.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty, but it dropped.
And he wanted the contact. Zimmerman knocks it down from beyond the arc.
Great look from Clint Scales to see him wide open there. Now we're starting to see that pace pick up big time.
8-point lead for the Hurricanes. Zimmerman knocks down 3-ball number 3. Maxwell, easy one-handed flush.
Nobody did.
Defenders got lost. Confusion there on that pick and roll. Nobody on the help line. Probably the easiest opportunity for Maxwell.
I'd say so.
Clint Scales fires for 3. Shots no good. Rebound by Session. And he will come back the other way with speed. Johnson kicks it out to States. States puts it up for 3. Rattles in and out. Rebound by Ronaldo.
Talk about pace. We were saying the second quarter, both teams scored 18. And now here in the third, 18 for the Island Storm, 19 for Halifax. We still got 5 minutes to go.
Washington can't get the second or the third opportunity to go. Bodies are flying, and they are hitting the floor. And as
Cooler
Washington and Stringer get tied up along with Maxwell, great sportsmanship being displayed by both teams.
Coach Leslie out there picking up bodies.
True competition. It's what you like to see. That type of sportsmanship between these two teams that are just playing hard against each other, knowing that right now these two teams are the top teams in the Atlantic Division.
Yep.
The Island Storm at the top of the division at 4-2, but they got to know that this game is a very important game for both of them, and they both equally want to win.
That's right, and every game last year was a hard-fought battle, and every game this year I'm going to predict is going to be a hard-fought battle, because they'll probably likely be, if not the top 2 teams in the league in the Atlantic Division, they will be among the top, especially going towards the playoffs. Obviously, they had a great playoff battle last year. Wouldn't be surprised to see that matchup again this year. 2 great teams.
So a 6-point lead for the Halifax Hurricanes. Timeout on the floor. The Canes in the midst of this 7-game home stand. That is 7 straight in the month of December. They will finish out this month here at home. They have multiple games against the Atlantic Division foes. Plenty of tickets available.
Great prices
for these games. You can get them by stopping by the Halifax Hurricanes website at thehalifaxhurricanes.ca. Garner that information on the different type of packages, the flex packs, the season tickets, you name it. Anything and everything Halifax Hurricanes. Just stop by their webpage at halifaxhurricanes.ca and their Twitter handle at hfxhurricanes.ca, and Instagram, HFX Hurricanes. A lot to know when it comes to social media in regards to following your professional team.
You did a better job than I could have. I tell you what, they have a really good family atmosphere here at these games. So folks, if you got kids, if you got
speaking of kids, they're dancing in the crowd right now. Great afternoon here at Scotiabank Center on a Sunday afternoon. The only game in the National Basketball League of Canada between these two teams. Maxwell, and he tried to get to the rim with the one-handed flush, but rejected by Dixon. Ronaldo, though, back the other way, and he throws down the hammer with the arm, and he'll go to the line to shoot.
Says that's how you get it done, Maxwell.
The and one.
Great job on the defensive and offensive ends.
So
Ronaldo Dixon.
Ronaldo displaying outstanding defense at one end and the one-handed hammer on the other end.
See if you can.
A great sequence of defense and offense for Ronaldo, but he can't finish the three-point play. 8-point lead for the Hurricanes, 69-61.
No easing in the tempo off of the timeouts, both teams.
Stringer knocks down the mid-range, though. He breaks up that mini run by the Hurricanes.
He is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And back the other way in tight on the pocket pass, a one-handed flush. Great two-man game off the pick and roll between Zimmerman and Ronaldo.
Talk about squeezing that pass in where only Ronaldo could catch it. Great job on the offensive end.
Scott fires that three, that's no good. Last touch by States, and he ends up in the front row. And it'll be Hurricanes possession.
McDonald take it out, puts it into Zimmerman. He'll bring it up. Running the point now.
Zim now. He'll put it up for three. No good. That's rattled around, tipped around, excuse me. McDonald comes up with. Mason puts it up for three.
Wide open.
Shot's no
Great
good.
job.
Third chance opportunity. Pulls up. And that pull up by Poole is good.
His first of the game.
So 3 chances on that trip. And the Hurricanes were able to execute. It's back up to 10. Mason though, with the steal. Mason in the open floor. And he gets it to go through the contact, despite the contact by Stringer. And Mason finishes at the rim.
Just like we said at the beginning of the game, if you're going to hit him, make it. Now, he didn't get called in the foul, luckily for him, but it is hard to stop Mason if he wants that layup. You got to bring more than that. Great finish.
Can't allow that guy to finish the play, and he will make your pay. As you can see in the replay there, he was able to garner that steal, draw the contact, looking for the foul, and displays a lot of emotion.
Yes,
a lot of emotion by him. Stringer bangs down the three though.
He gets up.
Didn't allow that to affect him on the defensive end. Comes straight back offensively and knocks down the triple. McDonald can't finish at the rim. He was bothered by Bell. Bell able to alter that shot. Maxwell though, lightning quick, and he almost finishes, tipped away again by Ronaldo.
He had a step.
So great rim protection right now by Ronaldo. Pull up, no good. Torrance on the run. The Stringer for three, bang! Stringer knocks it down between the eyes of the Hurricanes. And it's back down to 6 now, and the pace starting to quicken once again in this third between these two teams, Matt.
This is the pace we expected from the start. Now we're starting to see it in the second half. Fans obviously enjoying it. Stringer's really coming out hot. Man, you got to play him closer. He is just going to burn you, and he's showing that right now. What a great player.
Stringer inside the Bell. Bell with a nice catch and a reset. We try to slow it up. Alley-oop to Maxwell. That's knocked away there by McDonald. Canes come back the other way. They have numbers if they hurry. Ronaldo trying to back down Bell. Ronaldo with the right-handed hook. Rebound by McDonald. Can't get it to go. And that's scooped up by Bell.
McDonald's been active today.
Just can't finish around the rim.
That's right.
Maxwell backing in on Zimmerman, and Zimmerman we call for the block. So a blocking foul on Taekwon.
2 shots for Maxwell.
And that's Zimmerman's 4th personal, team 6. And multiple substitutions coming into the game now for the Island Storm. As Session, OC, and Johnson will check in. And for the Canes, Zimmerman will check out, and Rafer will check in.
75-69, Halifax Hurricanes.
Canes enjoying this 6-point lead, but it's been ebb and flow.
Sure has.
For both of these teams.
Sure has.
It's been up and down in the last few sequences, and some very great display of defensive protection at the rim by Ronaldo in particular.
Yeah.
And getting it done offensively on the other end, running the floor.
He's putting in some great minutes right now, does Dixon. He's got 10 points and 8 rebounds in relatively limited minutes compared to the starting 5.
As Maxwell unable to hit either of those free throws, so an empty trip for him.
And again, you want to win games on the road, you've got to make those count.
Poole fires for 3. Shot is no good. Rebound by Bell.
Poole having a hard time with the shot today.
Session kicks it to Maxwell. Dribble handoff. Back to Session. Looking for space. Trying to get it inside. And a battle ensuing between Maxwell and Mason.
Called them both.
They called a double foul on Maxwell and Mason. Brian Rouse will check in for the first time for Mike Poole.
Former St. Mary's University player.
Rouse, Mississauga, Ontario native. Definitely no stranger to the Scotiabank Center and this court.
Shot clock.
Shot clock
Great D.
violation, so not great awareness on that possession by the Island Storm. Unaware that that shot clock was dwindling. OC didn't even get off on an attempt at the goal.
I don't even think the coach, to be honest with you, because I didn't hear anyone yelling. It just
no help from the bench either.
Yeah.
So shot clock violation, and I guess we're trying to sort things out here. Is the official Matt Boyle, he comes through the scores table. .106 left in the third quarter. Hurricanes leading by 6. Mason crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Franklin Session.
Session is a top defender.
He doesn't give up any space. Rafer, though, right hand, and that's knocked away, but the contact comes by Marcus Bell, and Marcus Bell's been teed up. Call for the personal and then call for the technical. So he commits the double whammy. As you can see in the replay, lots of contact there, but then he's taunting, or definitely an unsportsmanlike technical foul. Not so much animated towards the official, more so to his opponent.
That's right. Reaper getting the last laugh as he gets the shots.
Dion will go to the line. It's a lengthy conversation between head coach Tim Kendrick and Marcus Bell.
You just heard Coach Kendrick. Could hear him in no uncertain terms. And don't do that.
Definitely was read the riot act was Marcus Bell.
Yes, he was.
Dion can't knock down both, though. Makes one of two. 51 seconds left here in the third quarter. Canes continuing the lead. They have never trailed. As Mason steps up, and he'll take the technical.
Ooh.
Mason can't make it. Mason, though, much improved from the free throw line from last season in his rookie year, shooting at 75%.
That's much better. I think he was at, what, 50% or close to that last year.
He was hovering down by the Mendoza line in certain terms for basketball, for sure, but he's definitely improved that part of his game, but he turns it over here.
Great defense.
Great steal by Maxwell. He's able to rip that away from Mason, and that doesn't happen a lot, as Mason has been very strong with the basketball, in particular off the dribble.
He's usually pretty sure-handed, and Maxwell did a good job of getting in, got his iron in. Looks like he took a few shots as he did it, but very athletic is Maxwell.
And it looks like Maxwell will go to the line to shoot too.
7-point lead right now for the Hurricanes, 76-69. Just under 40 seconds to go in the game, or excuse me, in the quarter.
And the first one is missed by Maxwell. Maxwell comes into the game shooting 65% from the free throw line. And he makes the second. So one of two. Torrance Dyke Jr. checks back in.
Maxwell will check out
for the Storm. 6-point lead, 33 seconds to go here in the third. Rafer turns it over. Session, they have numbers. Dyke Jr. Rafer fouls Dyke Jr. at the rim, and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Did a good job of getting back to Reaver, but unfortunately got a bit of contact there.
Theon picks up his fourth. As you can see in the replay, nice bounce pass in space. And the contact drawn there by Torrance, but Torrance misses the first.
That puts them at below 50% right now for free throw percentage. If he hits this, it'll be 50, and it's not.
And they are shooting only 66% from the free throw line as a team, are the Island Storm. So, and an offensive foul call on Antoine Mason as he's called for that off arm, the left arm.
Okay,
pushes
not
off
happy.
Session, and the Boo Birds raining down here
Yes,
at
they
Scotiabank Center. 17.9 seconds left, and that's Mason's fourth. OC almost got that ripped away there by Poole. Storm will hold for the last shot. Session.
Oh, wow.
Session, and he's got it blocked at the rim.
Again, Denny McDonald, he's been everywhere today.
McDonald and Ronaldo, outstanding third quarter with the rim protection.
Yep.
And that'll do it after threes. You can see the replay here. Nice step through and a block. And tip away by McDonald. 6-point lead for the Hurricanes. They have led throughout, Matt, but it's not been easy.
No, it's not. The Storm refuses to go away. They dropped 27 points in that quarter to Halifax's 28. So again, that was what we were expecting from the start, that kind of pace that we were at this time. And I don't expect the Island Storm to go away in the fourth quarter as well. This one's going to be close, and it's going to be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to this final quarter.
And the numbers don't lie. I mean, the shooting 41% from the field are the Storm and the Hurricanes. The Storm have a slight advantage from downtown at 33%, hitting 8 of 24, Canes 5 of 22. The free throws have been the difference, but not much of a difference because it's only a 6-point lead for the Hurricanes. 18 attempts there, 13 of 18 in that category. Leading the way though, the Hyman. CJ Washington with 20, he's 9 for 19. Andre Stringer, the high man for the Storm, 9 of 16 with 23 points, followed up by 15 by Franklin Session, and Antoine Mason has 17, and then you have the balance throughout each lineup in the starting position and the reserves. So we're set for a dandy 12 minutes, what I would think of high-paced basketball to decide this one, Matt.
Yes, we are. And I'm looking to see a lot more out of Stringer. He has been impressive today. I imagine he is probably going to try to strap the team on his back here, close out that lead, and then try to come away with the win. I can't think of a better guy to put it on his back because he can play. Former Mr. Basketball of Mississippi in high school. That is not something that happens easily. You got to be skilled, especially remembering this guy's 5'8".
And he is a good one from Louisiana University. Louisiana State, that is Andre Stringer, averaging 16 points per game. As Franklin Session will inbound for the Storm. It won't be inbound. He's having last words to one of the officials, Paul Hansen. It will be controlled by the Hurricanes. They will have possession to start the fourth. Rouse, Clink Scales, McDonald, Ronaldo, and Reefer. For the Storm, it's States, Stringer, Dyke Jr., Session, and Johnson. Rouse, dribble drive, fade away, no good. Rebound scooped up though by Ronaldo, second chance coming up.
And this is what I like about this set, when you've got Denny McDonald and Ronaldo on the court at the same time, two high energy guys that like to be all over the court, so expect to see a lot of grinding there.
Rouse's shot's knocked away and denied at the rim, and he turns it over. So good defensive possession for the Island Storm, just what they needed coming out of that break.
That's right, they're going to want to get started here quickly.
Down 6 early here in the fourth quarter, and we got a good one brewing.
States on the floor.
States almost turn it over to Session. Session now off the dribble drive. He's going to pull it out, but he's trying to go to work one-on-one against Rouse. Session splits the defense, count it. Franklin Sessions with the lightning quick move with the right hand, split the defense, drew the contact, and finish. That's what you get from Franklin Session.
Yeah, and with that kind of speed and athleticism, more often than not, you're going to earn yourself a trip to the charity stripe because you get by a guy, and sometimes the only recourse you have is to take a shot. That's what happened to him, and he finished strong.
And Session makes no mistake with the finish, and Session now has 18 on the afternoon. Clink Scales inside, tight. to Theon, and Theon can't gather it, and that's last touch by him and out of bounds, and that's another turnover for the Hurricanes. And that summons the big man, number 20, C.J. Washington. He'll check in for Denny McDonald.
Risky pass underneath there by Klinkskill. One of those high-risk, high-reward passes. Unfortunately, Theon wasn't able to get his hands on it, and no reward, obviously, in this case.
3-point lead for the Hurricanes. Session again one-on-one, and he draws the contact on Rouse. And Franklin will go to the line to shoot two, and that summons Antoine Mason. He'll come in for Theon.
Tough to keep him away from the basket when he's that quick. He's got a good handle, high motor.
You can't back off him because he'll knock down that three too.
And that's just it, yeah. Step back and he'll drop one.
And he hits the first. Session comes into this game shooting 80% from the free throw line. And he rattles in the second, and he has 20. 76-75, 1-point game. Hurricanes lead. Rouse gets it knocked away by Torrance. He goes into the front row, save it, but Storm have numbers back the other way. States, and that's blocked and knocked away by Rouse. They were looking for a foul down the other end there, but a huge aggression came out of nowhere. You thought States was going to go in there with a two-handed flush as he was behind the defense. Storm had numbers on the run out after that outstanding save on the baseline by Torrance Dyke Jr., but denied at the rim was States by Brian Rouse.
Great hustle by Rouse.
Not giving up on the play. Johnson thought about it. He'll put it up. Bang! And he knocks down the two. And the Island Storm take the lead for the very first time on the afternoon, 77-76.
Coach Kendrick really animated on the sidelines here.
They have battled all the way back. They've been down as much as 15. Another turnover. Back the other way is Torrance. Torrance with the left hand and finish at the rim. They're back up three now. And timeout on the floor. And the Island Storm leap off the bench because they have been outstanding in the last 2 minutes of this game.
And they're owning the momentum right now. As you can see, the timeout got called. They hopped up, celebrated. Halifax looking a little dejected right now. Coach Leslie usually pretty good off of these, or coming up with a plan to right the ship off of these timeouts. So let's see what he does. But I think a well-timed timeout by Coach, giving the momentum right now.
And you talked about it. I mean, they need to really right the ship right now, and it has to happen on the defensive end as two men have been taking over this game, and you called him, Matt. It was either going to be Andre Stringer or Franklin Session, and right now those two individuals are getting it done. And then you mix in the individual defense prowess of Torrance Dyke Jr., who's injected some life on the defensive end, knocking balls away, getting hands in passing lanes and turning the ball over and then racing back the other way and finishing at the rim. What can you say? The Island Storm not giving up, and you said that this team has lots of fight, and they're displaying it right now.
Yep.
Being down as much as 15 points in this building where this team doesn't lose many games.
That's
the
right.
Halifax Hurricanes have an outstanding home record, and teams have a hard time beating this team here on their home court.
Yep.
But right now, all the momentum swung over to the Island Storm. In the last few defense and offensive sequences, they have managed to come back all the way and take a three-point lead, their first lead on the afternoon. So the Hurricanes with lots of work to do and lots of time to do it. Down by 3 with just under 10 minutes to go, 79-76, they are trailing.
And what you're seeing from the Storm is truly a team basketball right now. The home run hitters are being the home run hitters. They're really stepping up. And the role players like Dick Jr. are getting the job done. Great finish underneath by Ronaldo.
But Ronaldo responding as he's carrying over the great play from the third quarter. Was able to fight through the contact and sneak that ball just over the rim and give himself an opportunity to complete the three-point play.
Dixon really a fan favorite here in Halifax. He kind of earned that last year. He was a bit of a role player, got limited minutes at the start of the season, but the way that he played the game and the minutes he put in really endeared himself to the fans here in Halifax. and that's carried over obviously this year, and he's a much better player.
Johnson,
Great D.
that shot's denied by Washington, and denied by Ronaldo with the rejection. Ronaldo with outstanding rim protection in this game. Washington down the lane and in. Long run out to Washington. Great catch on the other end and great awareness around the rim and touch as he gets one to go, and they go back up by one, 80-79. Stringer in tight, can't get it to go. Second chance, third chance there. Jump. Ronaldo again with the rejection. That's block number 4 on the afternoon. Zimmerman, bang! He connects from downtown. Taekwon Zimmerman forces a timeout for the Island Storm, and just like that, they're back up by 5.
Oh, I love NBL basketball.
4. Outstanding shot from the corner by Taekwon Zimmerman, but it all started on the defensive end.
Yes,
Ronaldo Dixon has been outstanding.
He's been awesome, and again, it's that style of basketball that really endears himself to the fans. He's down there underneath, he's grinding, he's making blocks, and I tell you what, I had to bite my tongue when Taekwon Zimmerman took the 3 because Washington was wide open underneath the basket, but he hit it, so what can you say, right?
It's one of those things where you're a coach or a fan, say no, no, no,
Yeah.
and yes, yes, yes.
Exactly.
So Zimmerman knocking down that 3 ball. He's got 13 on the afternoon, but Ronaldo Dixon right now has definitely been the one needed to step up, and he's been stepping up in dividends coming off the bench. 12 points, he's 5 for 9 from the field right now. He's got 9 rebounds and 4 block shots. He's been outstanding, and he's got to give it to him thus far. But plenty of time here, plenty of time. We've seen it time and time again in this game, by the Island Storm. They are managed to put some runs together and battle back. Down as much as 15 points in that second quarter. They have came all the way back, never led up to the 9-minute mark in this quarter where they took a 3-point lead and forced the timeout call by head coach Mike Leslie.
And what I've been impressed with really with the Storm is they don't play panicked.
No, absolutely not. States, and States almost got it through Ronaldo. Wow, that would have been a highlight reel type play on the baseline by States if he was able to convert.
He cocked the hammer there, was looking for the poster.
He almost had that click moment.
That would have been nice.
4-point lead though for the Hurricanes. Missed opportunity as the Island Storm had numbers. And Mason through the contact, counted! Antoine Shimmy Shea Mason bangs down the 3 ball from way out through the contact, and he'll go to the line to try to complete his 3rd 4-point play, as many as 2 games.
Yeah, and that's one thing he was great at doing last year, on that contact on those 3s. A lot of the coaches don't like it. You could tell by Coach Kendrick's reaction. You don't like the way he kicks out his leg at times, but guess what? He legit got hit that time. There's no question about it. That was a great call.
And he completes the 4-point play for the 3rd time in 2 games. Antoine Mason has been outstanding in that particular spot. Stringer, though, back the other way, and he picks up the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2, drawing the contact. Mason drawing his, I don't know what to call it. I mean, I had a quick conversation with him before the start of the game and talking about those 4-point plays from the previous game. And I said, you must have, summoned your inner Larry Johnson back in 1999 in the Garden in the Eastern Conference Championships versus the Indiana Pacers. And he just laughed. He said, yeah. But he's been outstanding. But Stringer knocks down both, and we're back to a 6-point game. Hurricanes lead. This one has been very good. And fans, if you are joining us late, you have missed a dandy, but you will still have time. There's still time left, as both of these teams are just going back and forth at each other. Johnson, though, with the right hand, and he finishes off the left side.
The pace is
up and down, runouts galore, transition game. If you love it, that type of game, then you are in for a good one here in this finish, because this is where we're at right now. Almost turned over there by the Canes. Ronaldo on the smaller man, can't finish. CJ though scoops it up, fighting in between Stringer and Session. CJ again with the second chance. That's denied at the rim by States. And back the other way is Stringer. He's fouled in transition.
Great job by Washington underneath to keep grabbing his rebounds. He was dealing with a lot of arms there. Can't really blame him.
4 chances at the goal for the Hurricanes. And through a sea of hands and bodies, unable to convert as States was able to deny it. Sessions puts it up for 3. And that shot is short.
Yeah, and like I said, the Storm team, they don't play panic. Regardless of what the momentum is, they just play their game, and it's been working for them so far. They don't over-respond to things, if you know what I'm getting at.
Absolutely. And Mason, Ronaldo thought about it. Blow by Ronaldo, one-handed. Great pump fake by Ronaldo on States. He got him up in the air, and there was no help on the help line. And pretty much right now, if you look at the lineup for the Island Storm, it's a guard-laden lineup with States. No type of rim protection once you get past States, and nobody on the help line on that possession. Session splitting the defense and drawing the contact on Clinkscales.
Bell and Scott will come back in.
Along with Marcus Bell for the Island Storm. Johnson and States will go to the bench.
89-83 Halifax right now.
6-point lead, 6:39 left. And we are in the midst of a very good game. And a very strong finish. It might be an exciting finish down the stretch. I anticipate it being that way. Stringer, pull up. Shot is short, and rebound is battled underneath by Bell and Ronaldo. And Ronaldo draws the contact, and he'll be called for the foul on Marcus Bell, and that's Ronaldo's third, team 6.
His third, team foul number 6.
And Ronaldo will go to the bench, and he gets a big round of applause from the Scotiabank faithful, and Brown will come back. Ronaldo, very strong play off the bench for Coach
Definitely.
Leslie. Stringer loses Clinkscales and gets the easy deuce.
And that's just a well-run outlet. Or excuse me, inbounds play.
Stringer's got 27 on the afternoon.
So it's always nice, the Hurricanes, to be able to bring in a guy like Rommel Brown off the bench, former 3-time MAC Defensive Player of the Year, especially in a close game in the fourth quarter.
Zimmerman puts it up. It's no good. Rebound by Sessions. And right now, he's going to have to pick up the slack in the absence of Ronaldo, who's been very good around the rim. Sessions fired for 3. And Session comes up short there. Back-to-back attempts from 3-point range have been not there at all this afternoon for Session. He's been good going to the basket. He's been very good going to the basket, Matt, but I'm not sure if he should not get away from that type of game, because when he's attacking the rim, he's drawing the contact and he's finishing at the rim. He's getting that 3-point play, the old-fashioned one.
That's right.
He's putting a lot of pressure on that defense.
He's had a lot more success doing that. Get 3 points that way. You also have to commit a guy to a foul.
Exactly, and you got to think that that's the defensive game plan for the Hurricanes, not allow Session to get inside that painted area.
Look at his defense. I mean, he is all over.
Yeah, he's just lightning quick.
Great pass by Clinkscale.
McDonald, though, finishing at the rim. Beautiful possession in the half-court set. Unselfish basketball being displayed by the Hurricanes. Outstanding ball movement. The good shot given up for the best shot, and that's the great shot, the one underneath the basket. It was a little tough, but McDonald converted. Scott, bang! He fires and he knocks it down. And that's Scott's first 3 ball in the afternoon. It's a big one and a big moment. Cuts the lead to half, and it's down to 3. Zimmerman loses the handle momentarily. Mason now, back to Zim. He swings at the Clinkscales. Clinkscales looking for the roll. Mason's got to put it up. Mason, oh, and he almost got that one to go.
Had the line, just not the distance.
Rebound by Bell. And now the Storm will look to tie this one up or take the lead, but it's turned over. Clint Scales in transition. Clint Scales, the Zimmerman fires in and out. And rebound by Session.
Rare mistake by Stringer. They weren't able to capitalize.
Storm able to dodge a bullet on that defensive possession as Taekwon had a good look from beyond the arc. Session now trying to go to work on Clink Scales, one-on-one. Session between the legs, spin move,
Good
and he
job by
travels.
Clink Scales. Great job.
And the crafty veteran Clink Scales staying in front of the quick
Yep. He just matched.
Session was able to match that side-to-side movement by Franklin. And we haven't seen that a lot this afternoon by Clink Scale.
No.
He's been exposed a few times by Session, but on that possession when they needed him, he came up big.
Yeah, and obviously Cliff known for his clutch offensive and defensive abilities for this team. That's why he's the captain. Does a great job there, a good job of Mason, but he does a great job there of matching Sessions basically hip for hip, staying with him, didn't let him get by. Sessions didn't know what to do, couldn't do anything with it, ended up traveling.
Third chance on this particular chip offensively. That 50-50 ball one. Zimmerman fires for three, rattles in and out. Fourth chance, Denny comes up with it. McDonald running down that loose ball off the rebound. Clint Scales will hold. Hurricanes in no hurry to get their offense going, but Mason goes and one. Mason, count it, as he was able to blow by Bell with the left hand. And when you play with fire too many times, sometimes you're going to come up getting burned.
Great job of Mason taking that one.
Mason with the dribble penetration drive.
Really
battle through that contact.
thanks, and you can thank Denny McDonald for that. Ran out that rebound, created that opportunity.
And Mason
Look at how
himself,
the play gets you.
he is well on that possession, ran down a 50-50 ball and extended the possession as well. And now he'll go to the line to complete the three-point play and reward himself. And he
There we
does. Mason, 22 points on the afternoon. Excuse me, 23 is Antoine, the high man for the Hurricanes. Lots of basketball left though. Johnson, jumper, too strong.
Nobody underneath the basket for the Storm.
And the shooting struggle continues for Chris Johnson. He's 6 for 17 from the floor. 6 points, well under his season average of 19.
Shooting only 6 of 17, just hasn't been his day. 1 of 5 from 3, as you mentioned earlier.
Clink inside, lost the handle, but it's picked up by McDonald, but a shot clock violation as Clink Scales was looking for the call with a little bit of contact underneath the basket, but none coming, and a timeout on the floor.
I think the refs are going to go talk about this one by the looks of it. Coach Leslie not happy.
Absolutely not. He's trying to make sure that they figure this one out. Timeout on the floor. And it looks like Coach Leslie is still talking to the officials in regards to trying to get an explanation on what happened with that shot clock.
And he doesn't seem to like the explanation he got as he returns back to the huddle.
And what coach really does.
True enough.
So, timeout on the floor. Hurricanes up by 6. 2-possession game. They are trying to hold on here in the fourth quarter. As we got an absolute dandy going. The only game in the afternoon on the schedule of the National Basketball League of Canada. Vince Williams, Matt Elliott, courtside, as always, calling the action here, and it's been up and down at times, but it's been good in the half court as well. We've seen some outstanding defensive plays. We've seen some outstanding offensive plays, and we just seen some outstanding all-around individual plays.
I think it's been great basketball all around from both teams. As you said, you're getting some really good individual performances from both teams. You're getting some good team basketball being played. You're seeing offense, you're seeing defense. Really, like I said, this is why I love the NBL. The quality of basketball is just fantastic. The fans here at the Scotiabank Center, as well as those of you watching right now, really getting treated to a good game.
Absolutely.
Just tune in, don't tune out.
Absolutely. They're getting rewarded here as Coach Leslie needs to be controlled by his team in regards to the explanation of what happened on the end of that previous play before the timeout was called. Fans, just real quick, to go down the line here of the next upcoming games. The Magic come in here on Thursday evening at 7. The Moncton Magic, that is. And then on Sunday, the Island Storm come right back here for a matinee in the rematch. So, here in the fourth quarter, under 3 minutes, Storm fires. Scott can't get the shot to go. Rebound by Brown, and he's fouled by Dyke Jr.
Storm foul on Torrance Dyke Jr.
What do we have for team fouls here? 6 for Halifax, 4 for the Storm.
It's a long way to go before we're in the penalty for the Hurricanes. 2 fouls to be exact, and that's Dyke Jr.'s second personal, team's 5th. Zimmerman now in control. Flink now swing Zimmerman.
Halifax looking at
Pressure all over Zimmerman. Mason fires for 3. Shot is short.
Again.
Rebound by Session. Dyke Jr. now back to Session. And Tyler Scott was jumping up and down on the far side of the court looking for the ball. He was looking to fire that one from distance for sure if he would have been able to get it. Johnson now inside the Maxwell. He's denied at the rim by McDonald. Forget about it, says McDonald as he shuts the door on Maxwell.
great defense in the closing minutes here at 1:15 left.
Timely defense by the Hurricanes, and Session is called for the personal.
Good call.
And that's his second. Team 6, so one more, and the Hurricanes are in the penalty. 6-point lead, 94-88, 1:11 to go. Inbound will be Clinkscales. Gets it in.
13 seconds on the clock. They'll probably drain it.
Yeah, Zimmerman is going to hold for that last shot and try to go one-on-one against Tyler Scott. The sophomore going against the rookie. Zimmerman off the bank and in. Zimmerman, the clutch shot in the dying moments of that shot clock. And Torrance Jr. is denied on the other end.
Good job of Brown and McDonald to get down there and alter the trajectory of that shot. That's why it missed.
Hurricanes in no hurry on this possession. 8-point lead. Clinkscales will go one-on-one against Scott. Nice hesitation. Clink, teardrop, and one! Clinkscales, the captain, with the killer move off the hesitation and left-handed finish through the contact. Absolutely deadly.
Is there anybody? Look at this. Jeez, he had so much. I don't know if there's anyone more clutch on Halifax, especially for a guy that's really not known as a scorer, but when it's time to step up and drop a couple points, Clinkscales is the guy that consistently got it done last year, and here he is doing it this year. Much needed space. Now a 10-point lead.
An absolute beauty with the hesitation with the right hand, the offhand. Clinkscales knocks down the and one. Naturally left-handed, he goes right, freezes the defender. The jumper is in and out from distance from Session, and that's the type of game that Session has had from the distance, and that should do it. The Hurricanes will move this winning streak to 3, and they knock off the red-hot Island Storm and stop their streak at 3 and win this one at home. So a huge win for the Hurricanes, 99-88, and it was absolutely nothing short but magnificent basketball being displayed this afternoon here at Scotiabank.
It was an exciting game of basketball today. Both teams played really well, battled back and forth, a couple of lead changes there. The Storm got down by 15, and they came back, and then they didn't look back, and it was a close game the whole way through, and made it really fun to watch as well as the call.
So the final, Hurricanes 99, Storm 88. For Matt Elliott, I'm Vince Williams saying so long from Scotia Bank Center, and make sure you come back Thursday night when they'll do it all again here at Scotia Bank. Good night.
Good night.